y'all. It is Friday, Freya's Day, the 22nd of April. The sun is at 2 degrees Taurus, the moon is at 19 degrees Capricorn, Mercury's at 20 degrees Taurus, Venus is at 18 degrees Pisces, Mars is at 5 degrees Pisces, Jupiter's at 26 degrees Pisces, Saturn's at 23 degrees Aquarius, Uranus is at 14 degrees Taurus, Neptune is at 24 degrees Pisces, conjunct Jupiter by 2 degrees still. Pluto is at 28 degrees Capricorn, and North Node is at 23 degrees retrograde Taurus. It is a Vishuddha chakra day, throat chakra day. This is in correlation with your thyroid gland in your body, the physiology. The keywords are knowledge, health, and decisiveness. Positive aspects are loyalty, trustworthiness, and I just realized something, but we're good. Trustworthiness and tact and calm. I stayed calm, realizing that possibly you guys can't hear me that well because I didn't check my microphones to see if they're pointed towards my face. But we got it. We got it working. Negative aspects are unfaithful, untrustworthy, self-righteous, and cold. The mantra is Ham, H-A-M, in the key of G, like Ham. The spiritual activities are chanting, silent retreats, fasting, yoga, and dance, Qigong and Tai Chi. Essential oils are blue chamomile, gardenia, and ylang-ylang. Plant is gardenia. Metal is mercury. Element is aether. Musical note is G. Crystals are turquoise, blue agate, and aquamarine. And the soul lesson is expressing divine will. So we have the ability to really kind of practice what we preach today. Practice what you speak. Abracadabra, throat chakra. Making it so. So on this Freya's Day, let's go ahead and see what cards we have in store. I'm a little tired. I don't know why. I just came out and there's a huge rainbow across the way, so that was nice, but I'm still kind of waking up. We've got the Three of Wands. If you don't know, wands are the fire signs, right? Spirit, a heart, in a sense, spiritedness. So if you're an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, this is naturally your card suit. And the Three of Wands is as follows. Grasping opportunities, putting your plans into motion, giving the idea space to breathe and find its own path. The Three of Wands, I expand my horizons. The Three of Wands suggests you are moving ahead with success, confident you are aligning your skills and talent to achieve something of value, not only for yourself, but for others too. Whether you have set your sights on furthering a career or business to support yourself and perhaps other dependents, you feel that you are being called by life to manifest something of significance. You sense a growing purposefulness in your character, having clearly understood what is important to you and how you might change some small part of the world in front of you for the better. In the card artwork, a strong figure stands with his back to us, overlooking a mystical cityscape of jeweled towers and turrets. A wand is held securely in his left hand, an offering or signal. A series of extraordinary tentacled creatures hover before him, emanating energy traces that warp the sky. From the calm, solid countenance of the man, we can assume these creatures or mystical entities are benevolent and are attracted to him. It's as if they were somehow there to bestow him some. It's as if they are there to bestow some gift or exchange. And we see that the one drawing close on his left is releasing a shower of gold pieces. This figure stands in his power, confident and ready to receive the riches of energy they bring because he is clear about the greater purpose this abundance will serve. In his book, Power versus Force, the professor David R. Hawkins describes how influential and powerful figures in the world emanate warmth, sincerity, and openness, treating everyone as an equal and above all aware of the responsibilities of their position. This success carries with it the opportunity and obligation to be the very best one can be. He points out that very successful people realize they are channels acted through to create success in the outer world with little anxiety about losing their status and success. This solid confidence comes from the knowledge that the source of their success is inside them, a quality of being rather than something out there that they need to exercise control over. There is a clear distinction to be made. Force is something you have to apply to move something to gain momentum. Power, on the other hand, is something that you emanate and you have readily access to anywhere. Pushing away versus pulling in. When the factors of power are fully understood, all fear of threat or being diminished by circumstances fades away and you can move forward. An example of true power is seen in the logic-defying strength of great energy masters practicing Qigong. Often small, seemingly fragile people can withstand even the most sustained and violent attack without any need to resist with force, because they're able to channel Qi, which is the flow of energy in the universe, through themselves. The Three of Wands calls you to connect with your inner power, the attractor force that draws things towards you and enables you to expand your horizons. Work on crafting a compelling vision for yourself that inspires and empowers you to develop your talents, your connections, and attracts the people, resources, and opportunities that you deserve. So, grasping the opportunity, putting your plan into motion, giving the idea space to breathe, and finding its own path. The Three of Wands. I tend to think of Samwise and Frodo leaving the Shire, right? They've left where they know, and they're about to enter into a whole new world. And they're going up, they're leveling up. It's about traveling to a degree, right? He's got this walking stick, and he's looking out and seeing a bigger picture. So, let's go ahead and get a clarifying card. Hopefully you're all doing well yourselves today. We got the Three of Swords, so 2 3s coming out. Interessant. Interesting indeed. And this is a little alien. Right? Actually, in a weird way. See that it's kind of a circle at the top of the line. Circle at the top of the line. So, the swords of the mind, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this is your natural suit. And Three of Swords is as follows. I do kind of feel this today. I feel a little flat and deflated. Hopefully not going to lose it. I think it's about getting your enthusiasm up, but that doesn't mean you're not going through some shit, right? So I see life as cruel and meaningless. Freedom arrived at through despair, questioning everything and asking quality questions. Life is cruel and without meaning. I don't believe that it's actually nihilistically meaningless, but sometimes we're like, where am I going and why? And what do I value and what am I fighting for? Where's this journey taking me? I don't see the point, right? This alien might be like, oh, I landed on a planet and I don't see any intelligent life. And it's, you know, or, oh, I'm trapped here and, you know, who are you? Are we going to abduct you or not? There's 3 spacecraft in the image. So 3s are really coming on strong today, and they're both very green cards. So green and gold. So I think we're, like I said, trying to figure out, at least I can speak for myself, trying to figure out where the value is, where the movement is, where the necessity for being is, right? You can kind of be anywhere, and where you are, be there, be here now kind of stuff. But life is a journey of things, you know, power versus force. Are you trying to pull things in towards you, you know, and basically resonating a certain vibration, having things come towards you, or are you trying to pursue things outside of yourself and be like, oh, I've got to get all the way over there? And sometimes that can be very defeating and cause, it's not, I mean, Three of Swords is one of the darker, harder cards, I guess you could say, of the deck. It's about heartbreak, right? It's about feeling a little alienated. So hopefully in our journey of becoming, we don't feel too alienated, but I'm sure we're all going through a lot of changes right now. Sun in Taurus, with Uranus in Taurus, with Pluto in Capricorn. We're really revolutionizing our worlds and our values, so it might feel very alien to us right now, our process. So let's go ahead and get an animal clarifying card. We've got the meerkat. Responsibility. And it's funny because he's up on top, you know, looking around, doing his thing, trying to keep his eyes wide open, right, like this alien. But notice how he's standing up with a staff, as is this dude standing up, kind of peeking around like a meerkat with a staff. So we have a responsibility to ourselves and others to create the value and have an adventure, but we want to do things that are not just like going in circles, right? Ultimately, in some weird way, nothing matters, and it's all about the experience. It's about the journey, not the destination. So when you see a mountain and you walk towards it, there's a new mountain over here, and you keep walking, and that's just kind of how life is. So we don't want to basically get overwhelmed with nihilistic kind of thoughts, but they could be there. With the moon in Capricorn, it might just be like, what am I here to do? What are my responsibilities? What's my job? Sun in Taurus, North Node in Taurus. What am I bringing in terms of value and beauty? What's my gift? And if you're in a weird headspace, an alien headspace, you might be like, I don't know where I belong. This reminds me of Michael W. Smith. He's a Christian artist from the 90s and 80s. But he's like, trying to find my place in this world, right? So whether it's this world or another world, alien card, Three of Swords is the clarifier, we're searching for our place in the world, Three of Wands, and that is our responsibility, but we have to be responsible to ourselves and our collective. It's not just one or the other. We've got to kind of be balanced in our responsibilities. So number 16, the meerkat, is as follows. On page 66, responsibility. Do you take responsibility seriously, or is it easier to blame others or outside influences? There should be a balance between responsibilities for others and yourself, like I just said. Someone may not be honoring their word. Developing altruism is important. Teaching others the skills you have mastered is a highly honorable act. Mythos. The Bantu tribe of Africa tell of how the meerkats were responsible for assigning color to the animals around them. The meerkats had the power to give color and camouflage to all creatures that wanted it, but to get a coat of color, the animal had to kill a buck a land and bring it whole to the meerkat community. A hyena thought he would love a coat of color and killed a buck. As he was dragging it to the meerkats, he was overcome by the delicious smell of the meat, and he couldn't resist eating all but the bones. Very South Node Scorpio, kind of selfish, secretive mode there, right? The hyena gave the meerkats the bones and expected to receive his new coat. The moon in Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules the bones. The meerkats painted his body in ugly shapes and colors, punishing the hyena for his disrespect. The chief meerkat told him, if anyone does not keep his word with me, I will do the same for him. The leopard also wanted a colored coat and went out to kill a buck. The buck was a fine one, and the leopard bought it, it says bought, but it should be brought it to the meerkats unskinned and untouched, North Node Taurus, to have high value, right? So even though Three of Swords is the clarifier, it's kind of this like, oh, heartbreak. Like the hyena is probably like, what the fuck? I want this thing nice. I feel alienated. It was his irresponsibility on the journey and his kind of deviation from the plan, Three of Wands, that caused him not to get a pretty coat. So the buck was a fine one. The leopard brought it to the meerkats unskinned and untouched. Lay down to the chief meerkat, and he and the other meerkats painted the leopard beautifully. He who keeps his word with me, I will do the same for him. So the animal, there are very few people who aren't enraptured by the cuteness of a community of meerkats and their antics, for they are one of the most entertaining of animals to observe. Meerkats belong to the mongoose family, and various species are found in the desert areas of Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, and Angola. They have binocular or front-facing vision, which is extremely beneficial, and they have highly mobile hands with claws for digging for prey and burrows. They have a striped coat on the backside and a unique section of hairlessness on their undersides that reveals their black skin. They stand up on their muscular hind legs to expose this patch to the sun to warm them when it becomes cold. Meerkats, expose yourself to the light, Three of Wands, when it gets cold, Three of Swords clarifier. Meerkats live in a highly social colony, Saturn in Aquarius, in which they demonstrate altruistic behavior such as minding each other's babies, teaching young meerkats hunting and survival skills, and of course the very famous upright sentry behavior of a meerkat acting as a guard or watcher to warn others of danger. The sentry often finds the highest position to oversee their environments, moon in Capricorn, trying to achieve there, the goat climbing the hill, such as rocks or termite mounds, but this can also include humans. There are meerkat communities that are habituated to people and who do climb humans occasionally for a better vantage point. And notice how this guy is trying to find a better vantage point for his journey ahead. The magic. Meerkat magic is all about altruism and responsibility. Such small but fierce creatures watch out for each other and work as a community to educate and protect. Moon in Capricorn, educate. North Node, Sun in Taurus, protect and keep value, like keep it alive. Call upon this energy and magic of meerkats when you need help with yourself or someone else to hold their word or to fulfill their responsibilities. Meerkat energy is also valuable in facilitating teams in difficult conditions, right? When they feel hopeless and out to sea. When you're on the journey and you got to just keep going with it, call on the meerkat. Symbology, standing up on top of rocks, altruism and teaching, statuses of least concern. They're kind of like gophers of Africa. So there's quite a few of them. But I think today we're going to be tapping into this Capricorn moon pretty hard. The bear went over the mountain wide to see what he could see, like this little alien here, to see what he could see. But we have to realize that it's not the destination, it's the journey. And there's many stops on the line. And there's a beginning and an end. And even that is tucked within many possibly beginnings and ends. So we need to be responsible for the moment. We need to be spirited and willing to kind of go forward and not be afraid to take risks, to leave our shires, to leave our security blankets and safety zones, right? And I don't know why you're saying leopard, but leopard was in this. Gotcha. And there is a leopard, I see it now. Sorry, Jake, I was like, what? Yeah, we have to be willing to kind of embrace the journey, ups, downs, and all arounds, because that's part of the responsibility of being a journeyman, or a woman, if you want to get like linguistically, politically correct. We're embarked, so we can't really undo that, and even if you die, if you kill yourself or die or whatever, you're going to go on another journey. So try to be committed to the journey you're on, and do the best you can for yourself and others responsibly. The I Ching hexagram we've got is number 40, right? Maybe this is a person getting beamed up by an alien or whatever. So number 40 in the I Ching is as follows. Liberation on page 72. Difficulties are lifted and the tension dissolves. The effects are liberating, but there is one more thing needed to clear away remaining misunderstandings. Just as thunder and lightning relieve the tension in the atmosphere, so liberation releases the soul from fear and constrictions. Enjoy your newly won freedom. Don't get tangled up in the past. Forgive all those who hurt you when you were at your rock bottom. This will help everyone who is involved, right? Because everyone has bad days. Everybody hurts. 3 of Swords as the clarifier, and we need to keep journeying on. We can't just stay in the past. That's the most responsible thing to do. Yes, it's good to look back and kind of make peace with the past and not repeat it. You repeat it as much as you need to, right? But liberation, nirvana at some level, liberation is the goal here. Don't get tangled up in the past. Forgive all those who hurt you when you were at rock bottom. This will help, when you were at rock bottom. This will help everyone who is involved. You could avoid attributing blame in relationships too, and instead provide a new impulse for love, right? This new impulse, instead of saying, oh, I'm heartbroken and you're the bad guy and this is why. Seek out new alternative answers, right? And be responsible for your energy. Don't just point the finger and shout. That doesn't help anybody ultimately, really. Letting go of rigid attitudes, Capricorn moon, and worn out behavioral patterns, addictions, right, of emotional addictions and maybe responses, South Node of Scorpio, allows extraordinary potential for personal growth, right? So we have the ability for this exponential leveling up, but we have to kind of get rid of the victimization and say, woe is me, oh my gosh, this hurts and it's your fault kind of mode. There's a place for that, but just to stay there is very irresponsible, so don't do that. And the real freedom is not in victimization. It's in rising above the circumstance, coming out of the zero, like a loser, right? Coming out of that and rising above and saying, you know what, today is a new day, and I'm moving forward. So let's get a crystal card. You can quantumly entangle with this, and hopefully what I'm speaking to you, Vishuddha Chakra, is resonating. Because I try to speak truth to myself and others. Do I do it perfectly? No. Does anybody? No. But we all are doing the best we can and hopefully walking each other home well enough. So we've got Howlite. You can quantumly entangle with this. You don't have to own it necessarily. What it is, Howlite, also known as white turquoise, and it does have that vibe, I like it, is all about reveling in simplicity. Taurus sun. Capricorn moon, North Node in Taurus, Mercury in Taurus, right? We have this kind of basic earth groundedness. It's like let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Don't play mind games, right? One foot for the other on the journey. Don't get caught up in all the drama of the mind, 3 of Swords of the heartbreak. Be more responsible for your energy and be aware that others are doing the best they can, and that will be liberating for you. And when you kind of have that kind of compassion, instead of like, if you kind of have this compassion to where you're like, oh yeah, this is difficult, but we're all on the ship and it's rocking and rolling. Some people are puking, some people are overboard, some people are fine, some people are up in the bird's nest or whatever they call it, looking for land. We're all doing our roles, right? Often the real power exists in what's left out. See Japanese aesthetics, Swedish interiors. How Light's dreamy slate cleaning energy helps you discern exactly what you don't need so you can train your focus on exactly what you do need, right? That is how we find real liberation, when we kind of responsibly undertake in truth, hearing and seeing the truth, of not getting hung up on the drama, Three of Swords, the mind, of the ego, but seeing where we really need to be going. And it's part of the journey. Sometimes you're like, you know what, I don't want to go there. It's like, well, you're only going to get the mushroom if you go, underground. I'm thinking of Mario. If you go underground and deal with that little maze or whatever, that's where you get those coins or the mushrooms. You're not going to get them elsewhere. So treasure lies where we don't want to go, and usually where we avoid. But at the same time, that's a choice. Like, it's a responsible choice for yourself if you feel so, and if you don't feel like that, that's where you're at, right? So How Light's dreamy slate cleaning energy helps you discern, very discernment, right? Saturn in Aquarius, Capricorn moon, helps you discern exactly what you don't need so you can train your focus on exactly what you do need. Very cutting away the bullshit, moving towards the necessity. Who needs it? Overstimulated minimalist living in a maximalist world. Where to put it? Wherever you need some breathing room. When to use it? When you need a break from the never-ending onslaught of DMs, meeting requests, and trending stories. Less is more. None is most. How Light can help. This is organize your headspace, right? And I think that is kind of the message of the day. It's our responsibility to organize our headspace, to listen to truth and speak truth, and not just get caught up in the drama. We'll find that very liberating. Less is more, right? And we'll feel less alienated if we're not grasping and reaching for everything and attaching to everything, desiring everything. That does not mean have no desires. Notice how he's on a journey and it's ambitious enough and he's moving with spirit. But you can't play, you can't go to a casino and win jackpot on every fucking machine, right? You have to kind of pick your machine and play it responsibly. I've never been to a casino, so this is kind of an analogy. But we have to take seriously the fact that our freedom is our mindset at a level, right? Liberation is a mindset. You can leave the planet anytime you have a spaceship, but we're sitting here going, oh my God, it's like E.T., they left me, oh my gosh, I'm stuck here. And that's not the case. We can actually travel at any point in our hearts, for sure, if not in our minds, to go boldly where no man has gone before, right? But we have to organize our headspace. Moon in Capricorn, Taurus Sun. Organize Mercury in Taurus. Organize your headspace, because there's probably a lot of static on the wire right now. Uranus is in Taurus also, so it's causing a lot of kind of electricity to kind of shock you, where you're like, holy cow, I didn't think I thought the Shire was all there was. In fact, there's more, and that's kind of depressing because now I'm overwhelmed. But it's okay. You're going to find freedom out there in the world, as within, so without, as within, without, so within. And it's your responsibility to dream and participate in the dream and not avoid it, right? Organize your headspace, though, with How Light, and hopefully you have, the throat chakra. Howl. You howl your truth, and you hear the howls of others, the truth of others. I'm kind of playing on words. But organizing your headspace is the name of the game today. And I think when we do that, when we kind of get centered, you'll feel where your water wants to run. Like you're at a mountaintop and the water finds the simplest path to the ocean. It doesn't like fight, right? It doesn't go backwards and uphill and all this shit. It doesn't mean that everything, sometimes there's waterfalls and sometimes there's droughts and underwater caves and all sorts of weird stuff, but it journeys on. So that is where, the ice turns into the ocean eventually. It's a liberation process, a process of transmutation and journeying. It's the responsibility of the water, you could say, to follow gravity and not fight it. And we can also organize ourselves in a way that's attuned with the Tao, right? And that is the truth, Vishuddha Chakra. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Leave a tip if you have. Like, tag, subscribe, whatever. Tag a friend. I do these every day, pretty much when I can, so check it out. Hopefully I've helped y'all out. Leave a tip, I just said that. Check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. Our guest yesterday was MIA. Hopefully she's okay, Kelsey Starr. She's had a few near-death experiences, so hopefully yesterday wasn't one. But I think are going to have a random podcast today with a German-speaking guest who's been on before named Michael, and talk about Pluto. I'm pretty sure that's today. So check that out. We're almost at 300 episodes on the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. Great stuffs. Lynn, we got to get you on it. Jake, we got to get you on there. Haley, want to get you on there eventually. She's not particularly wanting to, but I still want to get her on my podcast at some point. If you want cards, it's $33 for an hour, $88 for 3 hours of astrology, $111 for both. And I hope you enjoy your Freya's day, right? Speak your truth, but listen well, Vishuddha Chakra. Like, don't just talk, like listen to, like try to be balanced in that. That's the responsible way to be, right? By organizing your headspace, you gotta breathe in, you gotta breathe out, it's both. You'll find liberation when you kind of let go of the drama, let go of the mental heartbreak and attachments, ultimately in the negative sense, and move forward. 3 of Wands as the card of the day. You can do it. You just have to kind of put one foot in front of the other. Capricorn Moon, Taurus North Node, and Sun. So enjoy your Freya's day, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Adios. Bye.